Hello everyone, welcome back again. So today we'll be discussing about a Python problem where we'll be given an array of both positive and negative integers, and we need to find the subarray whose sum is equal to 0. I'll explain you it with a sample input and output. First line of input contains the size of the array. Second line contains the elements of the array with a space difference. So firstly you must divide this into the subarrays. So first we'll divide it into single size subarray, single integer. 4 is an subarray, 2, -3 and 1 and 6. Here we have completed our 5 subarrays. Then we'll go to subarrays of size 2. 4 and 2, 4 plus 2 is 6, it's not 0. And 2 minus 3, sorry, yeah, 2 minus 3 is -1, it's not equal to 0. 1 minus 3 is -2, not equal to 0. 6 plus 1 is 7, it's also not equal to 0. So now we'll go to subarrays of size 3. 4, 2 and -3. 4 plus 2, 6. 6 minus 3 is 3. It's not equal to 0. We'll go to this. 2 minus 3 is -1 and -1 plus 1 is 0. Yeah, we got a subarray whose sum is equals to 0. So the output must be yes. If we don't get any subarray of sum as 0, then we must give the output as no. So I'll start to code this solution. Firstly, we'll be taking the size of the array as input. As input basically gives string as return type, we'll be using int to convert it into integer, and we'll be taking the numbers into a list using the list, and we'll be mapping the input into integers using input.split method. So I'll explain you it here. Firstly, we'll be taking the input and then splitting it on the basis of space, and then we are mapping as input by default takes string as input. We'll be mapping it into integer, and finally we'll be converting into a list of numbers. Perfect. I'll show you by printing it. First we'll enter the size as 5, the elements as 4, 2, -3, 1 and 6. See, we got those elements, numbers in the list. Perfect. So we'll go to the process next. So we'll use a for loop to iterate over our numbers for I in range of 0 to size plus 1. That means we are also including the size. So we are adding here size plus 1s. There will be, if size is 5, there will be 5 iterations. Then for j in range of I plus 1 2, again size plus 1. I'll explain you it in a bit. Just please concentrate on the code for now. We'll be appending it into the numbers dot append. Okay, we need to make a list, empty list here, which contains all the sublists. We'll be appending into them. Sublist dot append of numbers from index I to j. So now I'll explain you the loop here. For I in range 0, so the iteration starts at 0, and for j in range of 5 plus 1 to size plus 1, that means 0 to 1. So first is 0 to 1. So 4 to 2. First we'll be appending the 4 to 2 into the sublist. Then in the j range will be increased to 1. Then we will be appending the 4 to -3. And j value will be incremented again by 1. Then we will be appending 4 to -3 1 and then 6. Like in the next iteration of the first for loop, the size for I value becomes 1. Then we'll be appending 2 sublists into the sublist list. Then we'll be appending 2 -3, then 2 -3 1, then 2 -3 1 6. Then the I value becomes 2, the index 2, that is -3, and the j value becomes I plus 1 to size plus 1. Perfect. So then I appended those all the sublists into the variable named as sublist. Now we'll just print it and check. Fine. 1 2 3 4. Yeah, so we got all the sublists of 1 2 3 4 here. 1 2 3 4. We got 4 2 times in the last iteration, no problem. And then 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 2 3 2 3 4 2 3 4. Perfect, no problem. So we got all the possible sublist of our given numbers. So what we'll be doing, we'll be calculating the sum of each sublist, and if any sublist has sum as 0, then we'll be printing yes. So for I in our sublists, if sum of I, that is sum of any of this list 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 2, 3 likewise is equals to 0, then we'll be printing yes. And we'll define a variable named as result equal to 0, and if sum is equals to 0, then we'll change the result value as 1. So finally, if result equal to 0, then what will happen, that is result is not reinitialized as 1, that means sum of any subarray is not equal to 0, so the result will be as 0, so we'll be printing no for it. Now we'll check it. Size of the array is 5, the input is 4, 2, minus 3, 1 and 6, 4, 2, minus 3, 1 and 6, perfect. We got an output as yes. I'll also print the list here, you'll get an idea clearly. 5, 4, 2, minus 3, 1 and 6, 4, perfect. So yes, and the list is 2 minus 3 1, that is 2 minus 3 is minus 1 and minus 1 plus 1 is 0. Yeah, so hope you have understood this question. Bye bye, take care.